Welcome to the Redefining Rejection Masterclass. This came about because of my own personal experience with rejection and not having anywhere to turn to. I didn't know of a mentor or something on YouTube to really look up to bring me that peace and that relief. And I went through rejection so many times. And I know it truly was to get the lessons and to get the karma so that I can also be able to completely reframe it and share it with you. One of the things that is most common with my videos is that people want support around this. People had just gotten ghosted, they got cheated, they felt like they were not chosen. That's the content that a lot of people like to consume when they come into my world. They feel a lot of relief around that. And what I realize is that that's what a lot of people are experiencing. We are experiencing rejection all the time. So it doesn't matter so much if it's romantic rejection you're feeling or rejection in your job or applying to school or anything like that. We're going to focus in on this masterclass around rejection and romantic relationships, but you can truly apply it and use these principles I'm going to share with you to any area of your life where you feel rejected. But that's what we're experiencing. So many of us, we're going and we're scrolling to look for a hit of relief or some hype girl, some hype guy telling us that we deserve better and that it's their loss and that they didn't actually like the new person or the new supply more. And so I'm going to go in depth and I'm going to share a different perspective that you may not have heard before. Maybe you have heard it before, but I want to share it in a way that you can really understand it and rewire your brain. So, my intention right now is that you be open to receiving some new wisdom, some new insights, and some new perspectives in order to bring you that peace and that relief and allow it to set in, especially if you've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of therapy, maybe you've done a lot of coaching, maybe you've done a lot of research, and you still haven't fully felt that relief or been able to let go of some of the past breakups and heartbreak. My intention is that this is going to really speed things up for you. So let's go ahead and do a meditation. Let's just get us grounded and present into the moment. Go ahead and close your eyes, and do not do this if you're driving. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Place your hand on your heart. Sink into your chair a little bit more. We're going to tune into that part of yourself, the one who knows they are worthy of more. They are deserving of real, overflowing, unconditional, everlasting love. That version who has hope and who's on the other side of all of the rejection. The version who knows that they are good enough and they are deserving and it all worked out for them. We're tapping into her right now. And in order to get to her, we got to go through the pain, the trauma, the layers, the fears, the insecurities, and the wounds. We don't have to extensively go through it and feel it all and get lost and stuck in it. But an acknowledgement and a release is necessary. And so this masterclass will bring up some of your stuff. And that's okay. You've been led here for a reason. It's no coincidence. There's something within you that knows that it's really time to reframe all of the rejection you've experienced. It's also time to reframe and let go of any regret that went hand in hand with the rejection. We're going to dissolve and clear and melt away the past, the memories, the heartache, the pain, the fear, because that's all they are. There's something that lives in your mind, which then triggers a response in the body, which then blocks us off from the love that's available right now. The love is like the ocean. It's omnipotent. It's vast. It doesn't run out. It's infinite, really. That's how love is. But we create dams. We create blockages. We cut off the flow. Think of it like a water hose that's attached to the ocean. The water's not flowing. And then we think it's a problem with the ocean, not enough water. But it's not true. It's a problem with the hose. The faucet might not be turned on. There might be a kink in the hose. You might need to untangle it. There might be some holes in the hose. You might need to patch them up. The hose might just be very old and very outdated. You might just need to get a new one and replace it. Turn the valve, fix the hose. Boom. Water comes out and it's flowing and it's beautiful. It's working again. So often we're going in and out of this flow. We're saying, not enough love. Nobody loves me. Nobody likes me. Oh my God, they love me. They like me. Not enough money. Not enough money. It's, oh my God, this client paid and this client paid and I got this raise and this bonus. That's what we're doing all day long, but yet we're blaming it on the water. Not enough water. Not enough water. And then we feel powerless and we feel like we can't do anything about it. So this is a masterclass of really tapping in and tuning into the truth that water is there. It's ever present. It's not an issue with the water. It's an issue with the supply, the pipeline, the delivery of the water. That's what we're going to work on right now. We're going to untangle that hose. We're going to patch up that hose. We're going to replace some of the hoses so that water can be ever flowing again, that love, that joy, that ecstasy, that bliss. Open your palm right now and receive some of those frequencies. Start to feel them coming through. You might feel warm. You might feel peace. You might feel relaxed. You might feel like you can soften. And all that's resonating and coming through is the truth. Truth has a frequency. It's a feeling. But when we keep creating evidence of the opposite, we feel heavy. We feel lack. We feel scarcity. We feel fear. We feel depression. We feel shame. We feel guilt. We feel like nothing's working, can't get our head above water. We're going against the truth, which is there's an everlasting flow of love and joy available at any moment. But we are the only ones cutting off that supply. And sometimes we don't want to know we're that powerful. Go ahead and open your eyes. We're afraid of our own power to know that we create the good and the painful. That doesn't mean we dictate other people's choices. If they chose to abuse or hurt or use or manipulate, we didn't create that and specific things. We just became matches to non-ideal situations, to pain, to fear. Nothing was our fault. And we never excuse, we never condone anything. So I will make that very, very clear here. I want to share this because it's sensitive, it's tricky to talk about, but it's where our power lies. If we are in blame of somebody walking out on us, we're in blame of somebody cheating on us, we're in blame of somebody ghosting us, we're in blame. I can't believe you left. I can't believe you cheated. I can't believe you chose her. I can't believe you can't see me. I'm right in front of your face. What's missing? When we stay stuck in the energy of blame, we're putting all of our power into the other person, aka dictating and determining our feelings and our worth, our identity. We're putting it outside of us, which means then we don't have any control of the situation or future situations because they are the reason I feel this way. They are the reason I feel abandoned. They are the reason I feel hurt. They are the reason I feel betrayed. They are the reason I feel not good enough. They. Then the story will always be they. Where's your happy ending in that story? Where's your love equals joy? Where's your soulmate relationship? It's not in that energy. It's not in that mentality. And we keep perpetuating those cycles and experiences and lessons and circumstances until we learn the lesson. So I'm hoping it's been bad enough, painful enough for you to get here and spend money on this masterclass so that you really take in and receive this information and this healing to finally learn the lesson and the gift of the rejection and the pain. When we numb it out, we don't want to feel those feelings of grief and despair and loneliness and insecurity. They just go right back to the bottom. You might feel good in the moment. You might feel that hit of relief when you have a few glasses of wine, you smoke, you binge eat. We're not going to go into guilt and shame right now if those have been some of the tactics. Believe me, I was the queen of all of those things. That was my go-to. That was all I knew to do to soothe myself. It took lots of healing and clearing and doing the work to not resort to those things. So with that, I want to make it clear, don't beat yourself up if that's your way you know how to soothe. I want to start opening you up to new possibilities of how to soothe yourself and how to actually heal and clear the things that you've pushed down because they were too painful. This is a moment where we receive grace and compassion for ourselves. We did what we knew to do to get to a better feeling. The only problem with that way, which we're not taught that's why I'm one of the people who's here to teach this, is that they get shoved to the bottom, but then they become dormant. AKA they're just lying there doing nothing, but they're there. They haven't literally left the body. They're in the body because there's nowhere to go but inside. So it just goes and it lays down at the bottom. Your pain, grief, fear, worry, not good enough, all of that down at the bottom. What happens then, especially in romantic relationships, things are going well, and then boom, you see they liked another girl's photo. Boom, they told you they don't want a relationship. Then you see them on Bumble and they say they want a relationship. And with a girl who cooks and you cook. And they want somebody to laugh with, and you've been trying to laugh with them, and they're not getting intimate or close with you. You are that girl. And they don't see you. They overlook you. And then they put out what they want. And how could it make you feel anything other than I'm not good enough? How do they not see me? It must be something wrong with me. It must be something wrong with me. I'm exactly what they say they want, but they don't want me. Insecurity, fear, eruption. Like a volcano. The lava's there, but then comes up. So we want to blame that person. We want to blame the dude on Bumble. That's the easy thing. That's where we get the relief. He's such a jerk. He's so stupid. What? Relief. He's going to regret this. He's going to regret this. Relief. He'll never find anybody like me. Relief. The next girl he's with, she's not going to put up with him. Relief. The healing's not there. The healing's in the ownership. The ownership that feeling that got erupted, that's been lying dormant and it keeps getting shoved down. It stemmed from being a child, from being a human once you got conscious, once you were aware of your body and that you're living on the planet. We start to pick up stories and fears and beliefs all day long. But here's the thing, there are stories and there are beliefs and there are wounds and are insecurities. So we must own that that's our stuff that's been laying dormant that just got triggered by the person. Again, it's not right, whatever they did. But it wasn't them. It wasn't the poking. It wasn't the prodding. It was the deeper issue, the root of it, which was these feelings of I'm insecure. I'm not chosen. I'm not worthy. Something must be wrong with me. That came up when they went on to Bumble and said they want a relationship, but they just don't want one with you. Or that's still your story. That might not even be true. It's the opportunity finally to own all of that stuff to look at it, to bless it, and to say, I release you. I'm done with this fear. I'm done with this pain. I breathe into it. Okay, whew, that hurt. Whew, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Seeing that. Ooh, that gut drop. Ugh, that feeling in my heart, my chest. Ooh, that feeling when you know that they're cheating, you can feel it, and then they finally admit it, and you're like, sick, 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 sick. No. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts. You sit with it. You allow it to hurt. You validate it hurting. It's not more complicated than that. I used to think it was, how do I sit with my feelings? How do I process them? It's as simple as, instead of the moment it comes up and you feel sick to your stomach and you go run and call your girlfriend, or you go run and grab the glass of wine, or you decide that night you're going to get so dressed up and look so hot, that's where we divert it because it's too painful to look at. So we avoid it and we do whatever we need to do to self-soothe it and ease it in the moment. The problem is it doesn't work. It just goes right back to the surface. It needs to come out. So my reframe on rejection is that that person who poked and prod, all they were doing was giving you an opportunity for all your garbage, all that junk, all that stuff that wasn't even yours, that's been living in your body, hurting you, creating disease and pain and chaos and drama and all the stuff you don't want, but it's still there. Now this consciousness, this level of maturity, becoming an adult, you have the tools, the ability to feel it. It has to be felt to come up, but then you have the ability to let it go finally. So I shift and reframe rejection, and I see it as a gift for my healing, for my freedom, for my opportunity to let something that's been dormant in me a very long time go. They were the character in my story to be the person to bring up my stuff so I can get rid of it and I'm done with it. Sometimes there might be little tiny remnants that they didn't get all of it. And so maybe the next relationship, there's still a tiny little bit and it comes up. But the best thing is you'll be aware of, this is your stuff versus this is just them. Because when we own that it's our stuff, we can clear it. We can let it go. If it's just them, the poker, the prodder, we're stuck all day long. We won't heal it. We won't feel it. We won't clear it. It will just keep getting trapped in our body. So this work is around using your rejection to your benefit, to see, wow, I still have a story of I'm not good enough and I'm not chosen. I thought I healed that and that's okay. I'm just so glad that it's now erupted to the surface so that it can be released on an even deeper level. There's layers and layers to this. It's like the gym. You don't go to the gym and you just get the six pack and you get the biceps. You got to maintain it. You got to go again. You don't just take a shower once and you're good, you're clean. You got to keep taking showers. It's the same thing with doing this healing work. It's just, it gets easier, right? After you've gone to the gym a while or you've done a certain workout class, it was really hard in the beginning, but then you start looking forward to it. And then maybe you go through a slump, but then you've got the workout down and you're strong. It's the same thing with this work. It's not different. I've worked with a lot of clients and they think that they've looked at this before. How is it still coming up? There's just more to go through and more to maintain. We always can shift more into I'm good enough and I'm chosen. No matter how beautiful you are or evolved you are, as a human, we're going to experience moments of that old story coming up. And so instead of beating ourselves up if we notice that coming up again, it's asking for some grace and compassion in order to let it go. Let it go in a more graceful way. And then we don't go unconscious to it and think, oh my God, that guy just ghosted me. Like, what's wrong with me? He seemed so interested in me and he told me he would text me when he gets home. And now it's 3 days later and I haven't heard from him. What the heck? And then I see him on the dating app. Like, what the heck? Ah, I'm uncomfortable because I'm feeling like I'm not seen and I'm not chosen. I'm not valued and I'm not a priority and I must not be pretty enough. I must not have a good enough butt. Maybe it's because I'm hairy. Maybe he doesn't realize I'm as cool as I am and as chill and funny as I am. Like, give me another chance. Like, if he could just see, like, if we hung out and we went on a walk or we went to the park or we went to Disney World, then he would see, like, I am really that cool girl that will laugh with him and we can just enjoy our time together, what he said he wants on his profile. If he just gives me another chance. So I'm going to fight for his love. So if I wasn't doing this work, the old insecure version of me, that would be the narrative. Let's fight harder. Let's try harder. Let's be more beautiful. Let's be more cool. Let's show him. But the conscious, wise version of me, the powerful version of me who knows I'm the powerful creator, like I said in the beginning, the one who takes ownership. I stop and pause. I feel the feelings of that hurts. I feel rejected. I feel not good enough. And I'm not going to stay a victim to this and get that hit of relief and soothing by being passive aggressive or pointing the finger. This is where our next level comes in. The ownership, taking a look and not going unconscious to it. So after I feel and process and experience the hurt and I don't deny it or desensitize it, I accept it. Then I go into, okay, this is my story. This is my story of I'm not good enough, I'm not chosen. And he's just poking and prodding at some of the little remnants that didn't get fully picked up from the last person or the last time he did this. Little more is coming up. Okay. Breathe into that. Not his fault, but my choice now. My choice. Am I going to allow it again? Do I need to keep having him poke and prod until I finally get it? Do I need to keep having painful experiences and rejection in order to change my story of I actually am good enough and I am worthy and I am valuable? That's then on me. And that's where power is accessed. Power is accessed in the ability to not blame that person, but to also not choose to stay in relationship or to keep being placed in certain situations and experiences that consistently bring up the old wounds. It's I can consistently work on these wounds and override my story of I am good enough over the I'm not good enough without needing to be poked and prodded. I don't believe we'll ever be perfect at this, but I believe we can keep getting better at it. I believe we can keep taking more ownership. Some people are afraid of ownership of it because then they feel like the other person doesn't have to take any accountability or ownership for their bad behavior and for cheating and ghosting and lying and all those things. I totally agree in the sense that we don't condone that and we don't just make it seem like it's okay, but this is where I encourage to walk away and not be available for those kind of tactics and behavior anymore. The price they pay is losing you because you are that valuable. You are that beautiful. You are that amazing. You don't need to say it and punish them. You just simply walk away. You simply limit access more often than not. no access. And not in a way to get a rise or a reaction out of them or to make them feel and see how much they hurt you and how much they missed out on. That feels good for a moment, but then it doesn't. The power is walking away, choosing yourself and saying, I'm not available to be disrespected anymore. I'm not available to be left and then them come back. I'm not available for it. I don't need that anymore. I kept attracting it so that I could heal what was dormant, and they were the character in my story to do that. But I don't need that anymore because I'm aware of this story. I'm aware of these limiting beliefs. I'm aware of these feelings. I've been afraid. I don't need to keep jumping through hoops trying to change this narrative, change the story with this person. So I'm going to choose to walk away. I'm going to choose the story of I actually am good enough. And it's a neutral tone. It's not I'm good enough. That passive aggressive tone is where we usually will end up going back to people who hurt us because that didn't even feel good. And so it's almost this subtle, silent confidence of they no longer dictate and determine my worth. Just because they couldn't see me doesn't mean somebody else won't see me. Doesn't mean my higher power doesn't see me. And that's okay. I don't fully understand why they didn't choose me. I can't fully see it. I can't see what exactly was missing. But I'm going to accept that something was. And that was their choice and that was their decision. And this goes into my next part that really helps with reframing and redirecting rejection. This one might feel like a lot, but this one has really changed my life. Some of you may know the story of when my partner I was living with at the time, I came home one day from my internship and we were intimate that morning. I actually had a pregnancy scare. And I get a text from him in the middle of the day. He used my name, you know? He ain't calling me baby. What's the issue with that, huh? So my flags were going off. I get home. He's just smoking weed off the porch and he's just like looking straight off into the sunset. He didn't even look at me. I walk up the door and I'm very intuitive. I didn't know it at the time how intuitive I was, but I am. And I could just feel something was off, something's wrong. And he just looks at me and he says, I'm moving out. I go, okay. When? He goes, I already did it. Me and my friend, we moved all the stuff out while you were at your internship. I go, okay. Did you get everything? Yeah. That was the whole interaction. He left. I was in shock. I told my girlfriend, she told me to come over, have some wine. I don't drink anymore, but back then I definitely did. Whew. And I just cried and I just let it out. The next day, I remember I just felt so much betrayal. I felt stupid. I felt shocked. This person had pursued me for a year trying to ask me out. But then once this person got me, they did not value me. They did not care about me. They were not choosing me. And they moved out in such a cowardly way, right? Like that was a coward move. I can accept that. I can accept that. I can be neutral about it. But after some time and doing the healing work and zooming out of the pain and the shock and the betrayal and the insecurity, the not good enough, how could you choose somebody else? I finally saw it for what it was. And this is something I've now helped a lot of people with. That's why I wanted to put it into a masterclass because this perspective changed my whole life around rejection. Doesn't mean I didn't feel pain when I got rejected after this, but it really helped me a lot. And so I want to give this gift to you if you shall choose it. This is my belief, my thing that's worked for me. You can try it on if it works for you. Sometimes it's hard to let go of being right because we want to still just be mad at the person who rejected us. But that's an us issue still. So what I believed is that he acted perfectly. He moved out perfectly. He sent the perfect text. Him and his buddy, that was perfect. The smoking weed, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Because had he moved out in a way that was mature and we had an actual adult conversation about it, I may have changed his mind. I may have convinced and gotten him to stay longer. The outcome could have been totally different. Had he moved out in a graceful manner, I may not have made the decision that I will never have kids with him if I ever got back with him. Because he shows me he's capable of leaving with no conversation. That shows me then he would be the kind of man that I don't even believe this is possible. It's just like you hear of this, but I just couldn't fathom an actual person doing this. Like somebody who walks out on their children. I don't understand. I just don't. And that freaked me out. I went, wow, he is one of those men that could just walk out on his family. I never thought that. I never knew that, but he just showed me like he would be that kind of guy. And I would never put my children at risk. That's my stance. To me, that was what I needed to go, no way, we're done. Like, we're done, we're done, we're done. We're done. That's it. And honestly, I still tried to give him another chance, but deep down, because of the way he moved out, I could never. I could never. He cried to me. He bawled his eyes out, begging me back, wanted to buy me the ring I wanted. Deep down, the way that he moved out, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And so I finally looked at it as I'm so grateful that you did it that way. It couldn't have been different because his rejection really did protect me from not ending up with the wrong man. Left to my own devices and my own will and what I desired and wanted, I thought I wanted to marry him. If he would have proposed to me that day, that same day, I would have said yes. I was so convinced in my mind that he was the one. Even though my body, I had gained 20 pounds, I was in constant infections and UTIs, yeast infections, all the things. I could barely walk. I was depleted. I didn't have energy. I was the one doing the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, the everything, while he just sat and smoked weed all day on the couch. That was it. I'm working. I have an internship. I'm going to class. I'm doing all these. Like, my body couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't get my head above water. I couldn't do the simplest tasks. Yet I still would have said yes if he proposed because we had talked so much about it. And so that's where I learned that my higher power needed to make it dramatic and drastic to get him out of my life and to make it so clear and so obvious. And that's where I learned to stop trying to force and control people to act and behave the way I want them. The way I would have wanted him to act would have been to get down on one knee, ask me to marry him. That's what I would have wanted. So if somebody is ghosting you, somebody just cheated on you, somebody's not sure about you, they're hesitant, they're stalling, they're not wanting to propose, they're not wanting to have kids yet, they're not wanting you to be their girlfriend. The insecure version of us wants to try harder, wants to prove and show that you are the best catch. You want them to see who you really are. If they really saw you and got to know you, then of course they would choose you. Of course they'd take that next step. But I'm here to help you reframe that. They aren't meant to, or at least not at the timing that you are wanting it so bad. There is a reason why there's a delay. There's a reason why they are stalling. There's a reason why they are hesitating. That person who moved out, after I finally agreed to go out with them, and I reached out to them after some time because I thought, wow, we actually have a lot in common. Let me give him a chance. And I reached out. By the time he did get a chance with me, He dropped the ball with our first date. He didn't even show up. 3 hours I'm waiting. He got lost in the track of time playing basketball with his friends. And he didn't make it up to me. We're dating for months and months and months. And he wouldn't hold my hand in front of his friends. But yet he was the dude pursuing me for a year. And he would not call me his girlfriend. He kept stalling. And I almost gave like an ultimatum. Basically, I just kept bringing it up. I couldn't understand. Why are we together? We're with each other every day, but you won't call me your girlfriend. So I got real passive aggressive about it. And one day he finally did ask me, but it seemed like such an obligation that, it didn't even feel good. Felt like, it just felt like he had to do that. Didn't know it at the time, but in hindsight, can we start to pick up the pieces of the puzzle where we were forcing, controlling, wishing, hoping, manipulating? Let me prove, let me make sure that they see me. Let me make sure that they choose me. Why can't they see me? Why won't they commit? Why won't they? Why won't they? Why won't they? Can we stop for a second and see that maybe it's because they're not meant to? And maybe they're not meant to because you actually deserve more. And this is highlighting to you that this isn't actually what you want. But our insecurity will talk us into making this work. Our insecurity will have us paint the red flags green. Our insecurities will have us say, it will get better. Our insecurities have us say, it's not that bad. Nobody's perfect. I don't need to be so picky. That kind of mentality is what gets us into these situations. Another reframe coming in. The people who really rejected you and really hurt you, especially badly, if you're honest with yourself, I mean honest, like not playing small honest, like, but I really liked him and we had such a good time and such a good connection. No, let's let go of fighting for our limitations and let's look deep down. Was this person taking you out? Were they pursuing you? Were they choosing you? Were they dependable? Were they reliable? Were they all the things you said that you actually really wanted? If you want to fight me on it, it's okay. But I guarantee the healing and the release is on the other side of admitting they were not fully actually what you wanted if you fully were honest with yourself, like deep down. In a recovery program, we say the people who relapse, who don't make it, are the ones who can't be honest with themselves. That's the only recipe for getting sober. The ability to be honest with yourself in every single aspect. And that's what I'm here to help you with right now. Get honest. Get honest for you. We'll keep replaying out the painful situations and keep blaming and pointing fingers and feeling like a victim until we're honest and we take ownership. Honest and ownership, because we don't want to be stuck in painful cycles. So I had to take a look. That person wasn't actually what I wanted. I wasn't even physically attracted to them, but I talked myself into it. It's like you go to Marshall's because you need a sweater. You really need a sweater. You want a sweater. You're impatient. You don't want to wait till tomorrow. You need it tonight. You want it tonight. You could get it tomorrow, but you really want it tonight. You walk into Marshall's. I don't see one. I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, this is close. I'll come back to it. Close. Come back to it. Okay. It's running out of time. I don't see anything. I don't see I'm looking for that white turtleneck. I just don't see it. I just would love a beautiful white turtleneck, maybe a cream turtleneck, but like that's what I want to wear with these beautiful slacks. And I just want to feel so sleek and elegant. And okay. I don't see a white turtleneck. I don't see it. Well, let me go back to that one I saw. It's red. It goes out wide, even though I have a tiny waist and big hips. Might make me look big. I don't know. Running out of time. Fuck it. Like maybe this time I'll make it. What if I tuck it in? What if I alter it? What if I? It's what we do in relationships. Then what happens with that shirt? You either wear it once, you feel huge, you hated the pictures you took, or it just sat in your closet and it still had the tags on it, and then you're donating it. Same thing with relationships. We're not patient enough to wait the next day to go to another store and find the one that you really want, the white turtleneck. Because you want it now. The clock is ticking. The time is running out. I want my soulmate. This person seems like your soulmate, right? You wanted a sweater. Well, this is a sweater. No, we got to wait for the one you actually want. When you wait for that one and you have more endurance and patience and stamina, you have more everlasting joy and peace and bliss and happiness. When we're impatient and we just want it now and we settle for close enough, this is what's in front of me. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. I'll alter it. It will work. I can tuck it. That's when we have to clean up. What's messy? Divorce is messy. Breakups are messy. Getting ghosted is messy. Getting cheated, it's messy, messy, messy. But the ownership of it is admitting, I see that I settled with this sweater. I didn't wait. I wasn't patient. That was me. I knew that wasn't the sweater I wanted. I knew that was not the sweater that I wanted. And I'm not bad. It's not wrong, but I learned a lesson. And so now my lesson is, even if I'm tested again with now looking for a pair of jeans and I keep finding these red pants, or maybe that one's blue, it's close, but I really want a pair of nice, sexy jeans that just make my legs look so slender and so beautiful with these black strappy heels. That's what my vision is. It's going to go so good with my white turtleneck that now I finally got because I went the next day. But I just see these pants close enough. But you know what? I decided I'm going to wait this time. What most people will do is like, oh, well, but this time, like, it will work. It's going to be okay. I'll just get the blue pants. It will work. It will work. Like, I don't know. And then it's the same thing. Oh, I don't fully love the outfit. I don't fully feel confident tonight. I wish I just got like a pair of beautiful jeans, just went to the other store, got in the car and drove. So we didn't learn the lesson. If we settled again, it's not that situation won't come up again. It's that, did we learn the lesson of needing stamina and endurance? The right one is out there, but it might take a little bit longer. It might take a little bit more effort. It might require a little bit more patience. It doesn't mean you just give up, right? You get in the car and you drive. Not at that store. Okay, I'm going to get in the car and drive. Not there. Okay, maybe let me try something different. Let me go check online. Different approach, but not settling. And so I want to help you really see your part in this, that you've been going for the sweaters and the blue pants. They looked very close to jeans, but they were jeggings. It was a sweater, but it was not a turtleneck. So see how it can seem subtle. You're getting closer, getting closer. These blue jeggings, they're so close to jeans, but they're not jeans. And they're right here, and it's so convenient. So I'm here to help you not fall for the temptation of settling. Say you just put out your list of what you want in a partner, and then you feel like it just came to you, and it must be them because you guys were born in the same hospital, and you both love Chipotle, and you both have an online business, and you have a podcast, and you've been wanting a 6'4" man, and you got a 6'4" man. Don't fall for it. Learn my lessons. I put out so many lists and so many things that I wanted, and I would get the exact thing I thought I wanted. But something would feel off, or they would make a condescending remark or a jab, or they would ghost or take very long to respond, or they weren't choosing me or pursuing me. So what would I do? I would talk myself into making it work and giving them the benefit of the doubt and all the excuses and the reasons why, instead of being honest with myself that this is not actually a match. It's not actually a fit. I had to learn to stop gaslighting myself. Gaslighting myself with the situation at hand, the actual relationship and what's going on, and gaslighting myself with what I actually wanted. I would dim down my desires because of fear of other people thinking I'm too picky, or who am I to expect that much of another person? I'm here to help you right now dissolve any of that. Be picky. Get what you actually want and deserve, and the way you want to feel, more importantly. You do get to have that. We get one life. We get to have one partner. Be picky. You deserve to be picky. Here's your permission slip that other people aren't giving you. Take it and give it to yourself. Because you know what? When you're not picky, that's where you end up creating a lot more pain and despair and heartbreak and keep going further and further away from the one who would be good for your heart and your soul. I truly believe our higher power wants us to be happy, wants us to feel abundant beyond measure, wants us to celebrate our higher power and be grateful for our higher power. Our higher power doesn't want us to settle and say, this is God's best. No. But in order to step into the best, we have to be willing to do what other people don't, which is not settle, which is hold on to your desires and what it is you want. So the last reframe I'm going to give you around rejection right now, especially when it really hurt and you really thought this person was the one. That was the Bumble thing. That was one of my stories. Really hurt. I held on for 3 years on and off with this person who kept telling me they didn't want a relationship, and they had the excuses. A family member passed away. They had to move back in with their family. They weren't ready for a relationship. They weren't sure what they wanted. To then me being like, okay, then like I'm out. I'm done finally after so long of giving you so much time and choices. To then seeing them on Bumble saying they wanted a relationship with a girl who cooks and just wants to have fun and laugh and enjoy life together. And he wants to cook for her. He never cooked for me. And it hurt. You know, that gut drop, that sick thing that I was saying, it hurt. Really hurt. It hurt because it made me feel my story, my stuff of, oh, I literally am that. If I am all those things and I'm right in front of your face and you've had me for so long, you're still looking for more. You're still hoping for better. What's wrong with me? How do you not see me? How are you not choosing me? But I had done enough healing work at this time. And I was conscious enough that this is my own story of I'm not good enough. I'm not chosen. And it's time for me to let it go and to shift it. I am chosen. I am worthy. I am good enough. And I shifted it into this is the final piece that can really help you. It really, really, really helped me. He wasn't meant to see me that way. He wasn't meant to be the one to choose me. He wasn't meant to. He wasn't meant to. No matter how beautiful, amazing, great of a cook I am, I believe my higher power made him blind to me or to his decision or to his heart. Something fell off or was missing for whatever reason. And I had to learn to not take it personally. I had to actually shift it into he's not meant to pick me because I'm actually worthy of more. I'm actually worthy of being with my soulmate. I'm actually worthy of somebody who's choosing me and I deserve better. This person breadcrumbed me. He wasn't even what I deserved at all. Yet my insecurity wanted him to see me and pick me and choose me. And again, us to have this fun life and be like high school best friends. It never was that. After all that time holding on to that, hoping and wishing, that was just an illusion. He didn't take me out anymore. He didn't get flat, like nothing. There was literally nothing. And so after that gut drop, after that pain, I leaned back and I went, wow. One, this is a gift for me to heal what he poked and prod and brought up to the surface. Not good enough. There must be someone better, not chosen, unworthy. Something's wrong with me, my stuff. I have the opportunity to feel it and heal it and validate my feelings that this hurts and this sucks and this doesn't feel good. But this is my gift to finally let that go and to finally be able to reframe it and see it as thank you for not choosing me and picking me or asking me to be your girlfriend the way that I would, what my will would be, because you were not meant to, so that I could be open and available for a man a million times better for me. who I actually was praying for. Dependable, stable, chooses me, pursues me, loves me, cares about me, encourages me, supports me, uplifts me, grows together. If I was honest with myself, that person was not those things at all. We had a physical connection and it was fun, and that was it. Wasn't all the other things that I'm actually sitting here praying for. So that was my honest inventory of he actually wasn't even what I wanted, but the insecure version of me wanted him to choose me and see me and prove to him I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am cool. That was insecure me. But confident me, courageous me, version who was serious about being with her soulmate, that version had to see that I actually am good enough, and I'm actually too good, in the sense not that I'm better than, but I actually am so deserving of having the best that my higher power is not going to allow me to end up with somebody who's not my best. And that's all that rejection means. That's all that meant when I see that he's still looking for more. I could spin my wheels all day long, feeling like, how could he not see me? How could he not choose me? That was me. That was me. That was me. Let me try harder. Let me. Confident, secure, powerful me who's asking for big love had to say, that's not the narrative I'm going with. That's not the narrative. I'm going with the narrative of thank you for being removed out of my life. Thank you for not choosing me the way I wanted you to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. Gratitude for my healing. Gratitude for my availability to somebody so much better. Gratitude to new possibilities, to more love, to not being in a situation where I'm being breadcrumbed and unappreciated, undervalued, and unseen. Thank you. Thank you for doing for me what I was not able to do for so long. Thank you. I bless that person. Hope they do end up with their person, but I'm not going to put much more energy and thought into it anymore. I'm going to actually put my energy into choosing myself and loving myself and respecting myself, caring for myself, amplifying my love and my beauty and my worth, all these things that are inherently true, but really giving it to me and not sourcing it from somebody else. So the reframing and the redirection around rejection is that it really is happening for you. It really is a gift of your own healing. It really is an acceptance that their behavior was how it needed to be to set you free, to keep you available for what you actually deserve, for you to actually get what you want. The reframe is being honest with yourself that the person who rejected you and hurt you wasn't actually who you really wanted deep down. They weren't really showing up the way that you would want a partner to. I invite you to be honest beyond belief around that, because I know it might hurt, especially if you're fresh in the feelings of rejection. You might feel like, but he is exactly what I wanted. That was how I felt when I saw the Bumble thing. Oh my God, the only guy I like, all these other guys like me. I don't like them. I like him. Like, and I want to have fun with him, and I want to watch movies, and I want us to like feel like the high school kids in love again. Like, I want that. But when I could zoom out after feeling all the feelings, I could see he didn't take me out. There were no flowers. It wasn't even fun when we went to Disney World. It wasn't. That was my honest inventory. He would leave me on red for 3 days a week. I would do the whole block on block thing, make it seem like it would be different this time. This time's going to be different. I shared with him, and I was in my power that I don't like it when you don't text me for 3 days. You don't have to text me every day, but it'd be nice to hear from you or just say hi. Yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm bad with my phone and I'm busy. I'll do better. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to you that I do that. To them, the same thing over and over and over again, like Groundhog Day. I lived that story for way too long. I hope that you get to shorten your story on your journey, where you don't need to keep leaving that door open to keep having opportunities just to heal your own story of I'm not good enough and I'm not chosen. Because that's all that was going on. He was just my mirror, the character in my story, to show me that I still didn't feel chosen. I didn't feel good enough. Whether it was him or somebody else, somebody would have poked and prodded. And instead of me drowning it out, which I did in the beginning of that relationship, finally let me feel it, let me see it, let me let go of it, let me release that, let me prove that wrong. It's not true. I am worthy, I am good enough, but I actually have been the one settling for him. We'll end on this note. Every person that really rejected me or hurt me or ghosted me, they all were somebody I was settling for to some capacity. They weren't who I actually really, really, really wanted and really desired. And so I had to learn to stop desensitizing my desires and what I really wanted out of this false sense of I'm protecting myself if I don't go for the person I actually really want. Still get hurt. I had to be willing to get hurt. Be willing to get hurt in order to go for and be available for who you're actually a match for. Because both could hurt if it doesn't work. Can even hurt more. That relationship where the dude moved out, that hurt more of like, what? You asked me out for a year, dude, and now you're the one? I needed to learn that lesson. That settling does not work. Settling does not work at all. But I will say something. I always had this profound belief, though, that I really would end up with the one, with the soulmate. Even though I was settling in those relationships, I still ultimately trusted my higher power, which I call God. I trusted that God would have me end up with my soulmate. And so when I look back, it is interesting because even though I didn't get out of those relationships, some of them I did, some of them I didn't. That is what God did for me. God didn't allow me to be with them, even though I was consciously settling, let's say with the guy I moved in with. I still just trusted my higher power that I won't end up with the wrong person. And so I can look back in gratitude right now and from this place. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful it didn't work out with any of them. I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to heal. I'm so grateful I learned how to deepen my relationship with my higher power and to love myself and feel worthy independent of a man. I would have never had that opportunity if I didn't get hurt so many times. If I had nowhere else to run, I would have just kept repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. I had to have the pain so bad and get stopped in my tracks to learn to love myself and choose myself and respect myself and connect with a higher power, the one who actually dictates and determines my worth and says I am good enough. I had to lean on that like no other. And that's one of the things that rejection can lead us to. So you're at a beautiful point in your journey while you're healing and navigating from any rejection. It is my greatest wish, prayer, intention that you totally look at rejection in a whole new light. You totally see that it was serving your part of your journey. You totally see that you are so worthy to have ended up with the wrong person ultimately. Sure, maybe you were married and you did get to that point of you did marry them, but that's okay. You got divorced and you're out of it. You're out of it. You didn't end up permanently with that person. We all relatively go through a certain amount of pain or situation or circumstance, and that's okay. The point is we want to accept it and we want to see it for what it is, and we want to do the appropriate healing and loving, forgiving, grace kind of work around it. But I hope this carries out with you throughout the rest of your entire life. If you're trying to force a job or a position, a relationship, even a trip, anything that you're trying to force and control, can you lean back and see that you can still take action if necessary, but you don't need to force it and control it because it might not be what's best for you. Trust, surrender, ease up, and see that everything really is working out for you, but everything's leading you to your worth and the things you're actually praying for. That's the biggest takeaway I want to leave us with. All rejection is leading you to what you actually want and helping you let go of any stories that make you feel like you're not good enough, worthy, or deserving for what it is you actually want. I'm here to say that you are. You are powerful. You get to have what you want. Continue to let go of what no longer serves you. Continue to step into your confidence, your worth, and your power, and watch magic appear in your life. Pray for stamina and endurance and patience. Pray for the courage to remove temptation or to not fall for it or to get out of it as quick as you can, and to be open and ready and available for the person or the things that are a match for what it is you want. You are so powerful. You do have everything you need within you, your mind, your brain, your energy, your heart, your wisdom, your lessons, the resources. You have them. Continue to utilize them. Continue to show up for yourself. Continue to live brave and go home to yourself. It's never leaving. I love you so much. I'm so grateful, honored, humbled that you chose to invest into yourself, into learning from me and my perspective. And I really do hope that you never feel the same after this masterclass. Have an amazing rest of your day. I hope to continue to see you in my work. I'm sending you so much love.